Breeze. So Check your pulse, honey. Check your pulse. Give me your hand. Check your pulse. Hey, y'all, get in here. Tell some people we are on tonight. It is Sunday night and it is 8 o'clock. And the home improvement is on. Welcome to the broadcast, you all. Hello. Welcome. Hey. Those of you that don't know who we are, I'm Katina, and this is Reginald. He is Reginald. Hey, Monte, welcome to the broadcast. Thank y'all for tagging and sharing, getting people in tonight. I don't know. Maybe I think we may be froze up or something. I don't know. Oh, I think we good. We good. Oh, I thought we were froze up, y'all. I thought our little thing started spinning on my little phone here. But hey, do us a favor, like, share, and tag. Tell some people that we are on tonight. And if you hey, Miss Deborah Haynes, how are you? Hello. Tell Mr. Haynes we said hello. And tell him welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast, Monte Ray. Thanks for tagging and sharing and getting them in. Thank you, Miss Deborah Haynes, for tagging and sharing and get the people in. Everybody probably trying to adjust to this time. The fall backwards or the something. So because that means we're early or we're an hour earlier. I don't know how the time's supposed to work. But somewhere along the way, we might be an hour or something. I don't know. But we are on tonight, just trying to give people time to get in, let them know. Oh, he's snoring. Mr. Haynes snoring, honey. Tell Mr. Haynes time fell backwards. He had an extra hour to stay woke tonight. Tell him the time fell backwards. Hey, y'all, make sure, I'm sure y'all done set y'all times back by now. If you haven't, set your time back so you won't be too early for work tomorrow. Those of you that got to work tomorrow. But welcome in, welcome to the broadcast. Hey, Courtney Dunn Brewer, thanks for jumping on, helping your brother tag some people in. We appreciate all of y'all for getting in, getting the people in, helping us remind them that it is Sunday night. Last Sunday, we had a very good broadcast, and we talked about two wrongs don't make a right. A lot of people, yeah, we had a lot of people chime in on the two wrongs not making a right. Hey, James Hicks is watching. Oh, Apostle Willieva Hicks Day is watching, honey. Etta Hicks. Hey, y'all, thanks for tuning in. But yeah, do us a favor, like, share, and tag. But last week we talked about two wrongs don't make a right. We talked about how a couple, the husband had gave the wife, he had cheated on his wife, and he had gave the wife a pass to cheat. I'm still trying to figure it out. He gave her a pass to cheat. He said that if he's done it, she can do it, and after that, they are even. They are even to the point to where they will be able to move forward in their marriage. And we had a lot of people chime in because it only opened up doors for failure in their marriage. And she had fell in love with somebody, the guy that the husband allowed her to cheat with. She fell in love with him, and boom, here we go. We are at a place of separation or divorce. Hey, Glenda, how are you? Tell Mr. Sheets we said hi. Tell them to get on in here tonight. How y'all doing tonight? Do us a favor, like, share, and tag. Let people know that we are on and this hour. I think. Hey, Criteria Morgan, honey, Sister Morgan. We're glad to have you on tonight. Do us a favor, like, share, and tag. Make sure you tag what the twin name that grilled all the food yesterday? Enrique. Get Enrique in here. Tell him that we are on tonight as well. But yeah, just catching up from last week, telling y'all about how the couple end up getting the passes and the wife end up falling in love with the guy that was she was giving a pass to, and she could not let it go. So following up on that, they ended up, and I'm sure y'all already know how it ended. They ended up in divorce and said that they would just co-parent their little kids, because they did not foresee that the relationship to work out. If you just need to be caught up some more, go back and watch last week broadcast where we talked about two wrongs don't make a right. But for those of you that did watch, know that the couple end up in divorce, because that those two wrongs did not make a right in the marriage, and so they divorced, and they said that they could be friends and they was gonna co-parent their children together, and they was just gonna move on because it was too much damage that was done in a relationship. Um, who is? Oh, look at Courtney. Courtney said, "Oh God," but yeah. So that's what happened with that marriage, and that's what happened in that relationship. Look at Katia said, "Child, I'm telling y'all, I." I figured that that's what was gonna happen with it because two wrongs in the relationship don't make it right. And like we said last week, if you're gonna stay in it, let's stay in it. Let's try to make what wrong it is right, not add some more wrongs to the right to feel like, hey, this is what we gonna do, and now we even and we can. That was a very immature move. That was a very childish move in a marital relationship that you would want to even throw out there anyway. Now we even like you little children playing in the yard, saying, okay, you do it now, I'm gonna do it, and we even we can go be friends now. No, this is a marital relationship, so it was gonna be hard to mend what had been put out there. All kind of stuff had been broken, and I'm sure the husband was thinking about her being with the man, and she was thinking about him being with the woman that he had been with. So no, two wrongs did not make it right at all. So tonight we just want to jump in. We was talking about checking your pulse in marriage, and that's why when we came on, I was trying to check his pulse. And they, yeah, make sure his heart still beating for me. Make sure that the relationship is still where it needs to be. But all while we're on, y'all do us a favor, still like share and tag some people, get them in. But we, oftentimes we sit and we watch. Well, I watch it more than he do. The TV show, and y'all may know about Grey's Anatomy, and they come in and they like, okay, check their pulse in, or what's their symptoms or what's going on. And that's the same way with relationship or with our marriage. We need to check the heart rate or check the pulse of our marriage. How we gonna move forward? How is it working? How is the health of the marriage going? Are we checking the pulse, or are we allowing our marriage to die out? Are we allowing every little thing to happen and we not check in on what's going on in our relationship? We're not checking the livelihood, the life of our marriage, and we're not just putting in anything more. We're just going along with what what's going on day by day. The Tam Perkins was saying marriage must be taken seriously. Yes, the Tam, it must be taken serious. But we had to check the pulse of our marriage on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis, on a month-to-month basis. Continue to check just as well as we check our regular health. If we check our relationship, and some people don't need to check their regular health, but if we check it on our relationship to keep our relationship alive, to keep the heart of it. And if I'm not mistaken, the heart is what pumps the blood through the body, and that's what a pump heart of your relationship, heart of your marriage, that pumps the liveliness to your marriage. So what are we doing to even do that? What are we doing to even keep it alive? What are we doing to do it? And I again watching Grey's Anatomy, and they show up on the scene of an accident or show up on the scene, the first thing they start asking the people questions. The family or the husband or wife that's there, they ask them questions. They ask them questions like, "What's the symptoms? What's going on? What's been happening? What did they eat yesterday? What did they have the day before? How did it happen? Did they fall? Did they trip? How did it happen?" And so they had to have answers. And oftentimes in our marriage, we don't have a lot of answers. And those are the things that we have to ask questions about. how did we get to this place? How did this happen? Did you eat today, or did I like what you, or did I fix food? Did I cook dinner? How did we get to this place where we gotta check our pulse, or our marriage just dies out? It starts to die out because we're not paying enough attention to what's going on, because we're just going on our day-to-day life and we're not paying attention. And I oftentimes hear people, I think Apostle Hicks said it time before, that we treat it as a business and not a ministry. We've said it before too. And so the business of it, in the same way, if you don't put anything into your business or your ministry, it's gonna die out. So what we need to do on a day-to-day, check our pulse, check our mate's pulse, check our relationship pulse before our marriage seems to die out.
Yeah, and I know something. Sometimes we can get so in the hustle bustle that's some of the thing that gets us, because we doing different things throughout the
Yeah.
day and running, taking care of life affairs, and we miss one another. We high five each other, pat each other on the behind, maybe throw a
Yes.
kiss on the run. We don't kiss like we should kiss. We just do like we was kids, blow a kiss at you,
Right.
or whatever, not really taking it serious, to really take time to really hone in on things, to really making sure that my kiss is not a silent kiss.
Silent one. Mm-hmm.
It's not a kiss that it's not real. It's just something I'm giving, and I'm not giving it to you in close proximity. I'm just giving it to you on the run.
On the
And so I
run.
think sometimes we really got to slow down. And I think our biggest I think people's biggest thing is communication. And I think the enemy fight with us a lot in marriages.
Mm-hmm.
I guess sometimes you can get to that point and not really open up to talk and really just share, um, and really share your feelings and share how you feel. Even question each other about how do you feel today. What is your
Yes.
day about? How even how you feel about me right now. I mean, do you still feel the same way that you felt 15, 20 years ago? Whatever. So marriage is serious. This thing becomes serious, and a lot of times we don't like the seriousness of it, and we don't want to deal with the
Mm-mm.
seriousness of it, and we just think, we do the comb over. We think it's just gonna fall in place. We'll just let it go on. We'll just let it go on. It'll fall. It'll fall
Beautiful.
into place.
Just like out here.
Yeah, thing will get right. They'll get. Maybe he just didn't see it today. Maybe I ain't gonna say that. Maybe he just didn't notice it today, and then go
Yes.
on and go on and go on. You keep letting it go on, keep letting it go on. Then it becomes something major, something
Major.
big, because you didn't pay attention, or you didn't stop to really question or ask. A simple question. Just how you feel, or what's going on with you, what's on your mind. I know we men, we have a tendency to shut down. Or y'all shut down when y'all get mad, but we shut down just on the humbug.
On
We
the
shut down
humble.
just because, what I'm saying, because it's I would say somewhat the nature of our beast. Well, it's the nature of the beast. Well, we don't open up, and we don't share, and we don't talk, and we'll just say, oh, it's okay. Oh, don't worry about it. I don't want to talk about it right now. And then right now never be a right time to talk about it. So we
Mm-hmm.
keep putting it off, keep brushing it off,
Yeah.
keep brushing it off. We never get to the point where we deal with, or
Deal
we
with it.
approach it in a way that we need to handle. We need to check the pulse of it. If I feel like I'm not being loved, if I feel like you're not giving
It
me some
starts
attention,
gradually
then I
dying.
need to pull you to the side. I need to take a time out and say,
Yeah.
hold on, come on, let's sit down, let's talk. This is what I've been feeling lately.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I've been seeing things, or whatever. And a lot of times we don't like to address it.
Mm-mm.
We don't like to address it. We like to abandon ship and just hoping and praying. Because a lot of times, and I'm all for prayer. I'm 100% for prayer. But some
Right.
things you gotta just man up, and you gotta sit down and work out. Some things you gotta talk out. Some things
Talk
you
out.
gotta deal with. A lot of things prayer don't fix. A lot of things you
You
got to
gotta
talk
say
about.
it.
You got to say it. You got to, confront. You got to open up to it and deal with it. And a lot of time in marriage and relationship, we don't like to open up, and we don't like to talk, and we don't like to. Maybe because of where I come from, the hurt, the pain, or previous relationship, previous
Mm-hmm.
marriage, or previous how my upbringing and stuff like that taught me not. Because I dealt with that, for not really know how to open up and talk to people. Um, And so those different things that I would use coming up, even in our marriage a long time ago, I would use because I didn't say a whole lot, I didn't talk and do, open up because I was riding on how I was raised and what was,
yeah.
My opinion was valued and all this and that. So it caused you to retreat into these different corners and places. And we just said we just table it to later on, and we never go back to the table and talk about it. So we got to learn how to really even if it hurt. I think we talked about it somewhere. Somebody said some while back. Sometimes even if you got to cry it out, man, you got to cry it out. You got to and don't let pride cause you to not deal with things. Cause our pride would tell us we all right. It's gonna be all right, and we don't deal with it. But pride would tell you not to deal with it and just brush it over, and it become a problem. So now this small problem don't erodes to a bigger problem. To where now you got a lot that you got to deal with. Cause now she's not looking at me the same way. I'm not looking at him the same way. However the case may be, but then we let things get out of proportion. Now it's harder to really deal with it because now they ain't seeing like I'm seeing, or they ain't feeling like I'm feeling, how I think they should feel. And so I think you really gotta take time out, and we really gotta pull back and really focus in, because life can drag you, life can run you to the point where you overlook the cat, you overlook the dog, you don't feed the cat, you don't feed the dog. If you got them, you don't feed the children, you don't feed. Nobody get fed, nobody get paid attention to, and so we run, but trying to keep up. And I often say, somebody told me, we try to keep up with the world and keep up with life and things going on in the world. And a lot of times it's hard to keep up with it because it runs so fast. And so sometimes we just have to sit down and pace ourselves and slow down and let life do what it do.
Let it do what it do.
She would say, let life be life and let it life. But you got to find time to let marriage be marriage. Let's work on our marriage. Let's see what we got to do to check the pulse and not overlook how I'm feeling, what's going on with me, my emotional roller coaster attitude or whatever. You so feeling out, you kind of sounding kind of groggy today. You all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Then you go 2-3 days, not really addressing the issue. And
that's
you say, well, he knows something wrong with me. He ought to sit down and talk to me, or he ought to say something. No, you ought to say something, or she ought to say something. We're not psychic and we're not God. We can't read your mind. So sometimes you got to open up and you got to sit down, even though if it hurt. Man, sometimes break your box up, tear it up, and just expose yourself. We don't like to be exposed. We don't like to be naked and ashamed before our spouse, and we don't like to tell them that I hurt, or you hurt my feeling, what you said, or how you said that. We don't like to do that because we, I don't know if it's a place of insecurity or whatever, but we got to make sure that we put it on the table, man, and lay it out there so we can deal with these things and so we can have a strong post. I mean, like you were saying, they check these things to see. I mean, just like go in surgery and stuff. I'm reminded of somebody was going to have surgery, and they realized that their heart wasn't strong enough.
Right.
And so they couldn't have the surgery. And so something along the way have caused their heart to be weakened. And so along the way, sometimes things can cause our marriage to be weakened. Because see, one thing about it, marriage, you don't just arrive. You don't just wake up the next day and say, I want a divorce. No, you have to go through a process to where things start happening, things start shifting, things start taking place, and somewhere along the way, it happened.
It happened.
And now you want to say it, or now you feel the other way because we didn't address and we didn't talk about what the feelings that I had going on inside of me, or what you had going on inside of you. We didn't address these things because some of these things, a lot of this stuff is fixable. But are we willing to take time out to fix it? Are we willing to take time out to work on it? And marriage is work. It's a good thing. Marriage, I love marriage. It's a good thing. But it don't come easy.
It don't come easy.
Because it ain't always what I want. It ain't always I get get what I want. No, it ain't always like that. It never like that. So just know you got to take time out and focus in and see what's going on, address things and deal with stuff at hand, and don't put it off. Don't put off tomorrow what you can get done today.
Deborah Haynes said, just as the body gives off symptoms and signs that something is wrong, if so, they had to have answer relationship, but we're not paying attention. We're not paying attention to the signs. We're not paying attention to what's going on. She said, as a retired nurse, my clients always gave me signs before they coded. The relationship does the same. You must have good assessment skills in nursing, and so it is in a relationship. We have to know the sign, know the symptoms, know what's happening in our relationship, in our marriages. Pay attention to the body language. Pay attention to what they saying. Pay attention to what they're not saying. Sometimes, a lot of times, if even with our next body, it may not be giving off those symptoms, but in our marriage, pay attention to what they ain't saying. If they don't want to be around you and they trying to just, oh, I ain't coming home today until they fall asleep. Pay attention to the signs and figure out why. Is it me reason they're not coming, or is it something else on the outside that's keeping them out there to keep them from coming? So your marriage won't gradually start to die. That's a sign of the marriage just dying off, because at this point they pretty much have checked out if they're not coming home anymore. That's a big sign. That's a big sign at that point. Let me check the pulse of my marriage. Let me make sure that, is it anything that's viable that we can bring back alive for this marriage? But we have to make sure that we pay attention to different things that start to transpire. Ask yourself some questions. We had wrote down some questions, some things about marriage, and checking your pulse, about unspoken apologies. Are we apologizing, or are we just allowing it to just bypass? I ain't gonna apologize, but we gonna have sex tonight, and that's my apology. That's not an apology. I just that's a come over of what we felt like that apology was, and when we get through sexing, we still got the problem and the issue. So at that place, here we go, we're dying off, and different things start to die off. So you got to definitely pay attention to the signs. Also, something else that we wrote, meal pass. In your meal time, you don't need talk. Y'all don't need talk anymore. Most of the time, they don't even sit down and have the meal. They just there for the moment. No sitting down, no having a meal. Marriage just dying on off, and those are different signs that you can see, that you see your marriage dying on off. I ain't doing this no more. I don't want to do it anymore. In their mind, or in our mind, that's what we're thinking, and our marriage is going on, and there ain't no pulse there. And by the time you get to the counselor, it's almost I don't know if they're gonna put you on life support. How they gonna do it to keep your marriage alive, to keep it going? What are they gonna do? How they trying to figure out, and like the doctors would try to figure out, what can we do to keep this person vibrant, or what can we do? What can we do to keep our marriages vibrant? Are we gonna start apologizing? Are we gonna start talking up? Are we gonna? I mean, even if you say, well, we just gonna have a date night. Sometimes date nights is just not the answer. They're just a cover up. You just went to eat on a date, and you still did not face any of the issues that you need to face in your relationship. Criteria says something you got to check in, and always check in with your spouse. Always check in to see what's going on. Always talk about it. Always communicate. And that was one of the things that we had, far as one of our the key things was, we got to always communicate. The Tam Perkins said communication and comprehension is the key to these relationships. Communication and comprehension is the key to the relationship. Stephanie J said sometimes you got to pull the bandages off. That's what you got to do, Steph. You got to pull the bandages off. Sometimes we'll just cover up what had happened, and then feel like if I don't say that in a few days, it gonna pass. It gonna go on the way. No, it gonna still be there, because nobody said anything. We just boiling. And by the time you start getting a little bit, this happened this day, it was, because it be the small things that adds up to make that big thing what it is. And most of the time in marriage, it's really not the huge stuff that that kills a marriage. It's the little stuff that we never want to address, and little stuff start adding on up under that bandage. You lift that bandage up to add that little thing on there. You lift that bandage up, you add that little thing on there. You lift that bandage up again, you add that little thing on there. So the little stuff start to become big, and when we do rip the bandage off, it's it be a hot mess. It be a hot mess in the relationship, and you don't know if it's a life or death situation. And it have become that because we never faced the fact, or we never talked about it, or we never came to reality of this is what's happening, and we never checked the pulse of our marriage. We never checked to see was we still alive with it, or do I still love her like I say I do, like I did when I first met, or have my love died down? And if it is, why? Do I still think that she's beautiful, or he's as handsome as he was when we first married, or have I lost my affection of who he is to me? And if so, why? And sometimes we don't ask that because we get too comfortable in our marriages and think they ain't going nowhere because we've been married 27 years. Done ain't going nowhere. We get too comfortable, and somewhere along the way, the pulse done went out of our relationship. It done died, but we're comfortable and think just because they ain't going nowhere, or just because we got kids together, they ain't gonna leave me. I had this baby and he ain't gonna leave me. But we gotta continue to make sure that we check the pulse of the relationship. Deborah Haynes said, I'll be honest, most of the time we'll be just trying to stay married and not really working on the marriage. That's so true, Miss Deborah. That's how most be. We just still here. No growth within the relationship. That be so true. We just stay in it and don't work on it. And we always say it take work. Marriage take work all the time. The day you're gonna take something different. Tomorrow it'll take something different. That's just like if you got a cold. If that Mucinex ain't working, you better get you some type of NyQuil or DayQuil. If you just sit down, we gonna ride up the road and ride back, and you still ain't talked about the situation, you need to figure out what's gonna work, and what added in is the communication and talking. You can't just think that it's just gonna pass on over and nothing gonna, you just gonna, all right, we good now. We argued last night, but we never came to a conclusion. We got to argue, we had sex, and we just went on to sleep. And now we just gone on about our day to the next time. It is still there, and it's still there killing your marriage. And so you trying to figure out why at the end of the day, we've been married 7, 8, 9 years, and all of a sudden now we get a divorce. Why did it happen? Because at the end, at that moment, we never paid attention to the signs. We never talked about the symptoms. We never figured out what this symptom was for our marriage. We never tried to figure out financially, am I doing right financially, or am I wasting too much money? We never figured out the symptoms for our marriage. So we'll just get there and let it stop. I just keep spending my money. You keep spending your money. We just do what we do with our money. And boom, there goes another thing added to the depth of your marriage. So your marriage not even staying alive anymore, because now finances have came in to be a part of the thing that so slows your pulse down in your marriage. So you try to figure out what do we do now? Stephanie James said, I tell everyone, marriage is a 24/7 job. It is. It ain't like you can just clock in at 12 o'clock midnight and I'm married, and at 8 o'clock a.m. we ain't married no more. I got all day to be single. Right. And that's how I ain't gonna say the older generation, but this younger generation feel like they can clock in and clock out on marriage. This weekend I'm single. Monday I'm back married. Thursday I ain't married no more. I'm single. And then I'll be back married Saturday because Friday I got something to do. And I ain't got time to keep up this marriage game on what they keep on saying we got to do for marriage. And then we find ourselves, our marriage don't have a pulse anymore. No power being plugged into our marriage because we clocked in and clocked out, and we did not realize that 24/7 Marriage is a 24/7 thing. We didn't realize that when we said I do, that they were gonna be I do for a long time. It ain't gonna be the day I'm married and another month I'm not married. I'm still married, but I ain't married, and then I can do something else in another month. No, this is a year to year thing, day to day, until death do you part. You can't just keep on saying I'm in it today and I ain't in it tomorrow. You got to stay in it until the death of the marriage does you part. But do your marriage still have a pulse? And if it don't, why? Why? What can I invest more into it? What can I do within this 24/7 time to invest more into my marriage to pull the livelihood back in it? What do I need to do more? Do I need to communicate more? Do I need to show more affection? Do I show enough affection to him? Or if you're your husband, do you show enough affection to your wife to keep that part alive, to keep the hold a hand or to rub a shoulder, to rub a face, to compliment, to say, you look good today. Do you say that enough? Do you even notice when they get their hair done, if their hair been changed? You don't come in to say nothing. You just go on about your business. Your wife or your husband can be looking all handsome and stuff, got a good shade. They might have added a little black, whatever, the little black stuff on to their face. You don't say nothing. You don't say a thing. Are you dying in that area? Have your marriage died in that area to the point to where the affection side is gone? How the posts have left out of it, because we didn't even give ourselves a chance, or we didn't take the time to say, you look good. You still looking fine, or are we even taking the time to do any of that at all? And then we find ourselves, we find in our relationship, we done died at that point. Stephanie James said one problem is people don't understand the vows that they take. Stephanie, they don't. A lot of them don't even recite. Most of the time now, they write their own vows. A lot of couples have left the vows of the covenant that was actually put out there to use as vows, and then they start writing their own vows and write about she wants you. We watched this one on this one show, and they write what they want to know. She wants you to know that she is loving and she's kind, and if you don't do right by her, she acts like a baby and blah blah blah. They really don't even talk about the real vows that they're taking. They're not talking about for the better or for worse times. They're not talking about in the sickness and in health time. They're not talking about in rich and for poor, because most of the time now when they become financially burdened, they start to check out. Or for better for worse. For better for worse is more broader than what we try to look at it as just two words. It's a lot of for betters in there, and there's a lot of worse that we have. Worse mentally, we might be worse. We might be depressed in our life, and that's the worst time for us. It's a lot that's buried into those vows, and we don't we don't go into them and go in depth and like we should, and we don't take them serious enough to say, yeah, this is what's happening. This is what's going on in my marriage. And so now, boom, here we go. The pulse, we don't have a pulse. Check your pulse in your marriage. Not physically, because I know he's right here and he's well. But in our relationship, are we really checking our pulse? Is our relationship is still thriving? What have died down? That do I just get tired of seeing you every day? Oh, I'm so tired of seeing you. Well, you just get on my nerve. Why? Ask those questions why these things are happening. Amanda Jane Adams said, come, oh, that's good. We definitely got to stand firm on the vows. We got to be there with these vows, and not play with them. When I hear people do these vows again, they don't do these. This modern day generation, they find they own a piece of paper and they write how they gonna love. I'm gonna love you to the end of time. You're my number one. You're my only one. They don't say that none of these other vows anymore. They don't take that serious because of course if somebody gets sick enough, they gonna be gone. Somebody get broken up, they gonna be gone. They they're gonna be gone in the worst times. Are we able to stand? Are we able to honor these covenants of these vows that's been taken? Because if not, the pulse of our relationship gonna die out, and we'll wonder what happened. What happened over this time? What did we do wrong? It's the little things that we had to start checking to see, what did I do? What did I do wrong? How did I miss that? And we gotta figure out. I think we was reading something about, even in this post check, that we got to make sure that our complaints, don't start talking about your complaints about your relationship first. Put out what's good. Because if you definitely look at a lot of the good in it, it'll outweigh the complaints. And even if you wanted to make your marriage thrive and be alive, don't go into your conversation talking about what's all bad about it. Talk about everything that's good, and talk about what you did. Sometimes we don't want to take the ownership of what we did to make our marriage bad, like, or make it hard, or what it is. We won't fess up. We'll only try to look at what they did, what he did or what she did. We'll try to pull all that out first. No, if we take ownership of what we had done, or what we did, what we felt we didn't do adequately, to make this marriage not live, and then we could come back to the table. Am I being the best wife? Am I keeping my house up? Am I taking care of the kids? Am I doing my wifely duty? Find out those things. Am I being there for him? Am I being able to talk to him like I said I would in my vows, that you're my person? Or am I honoring those things that I even said, even though it's not the better for worse, sickness and in health, to death do us part? Are we honoring the ones that we made up to say? Are we doing that? Or are we allowing that to just die out and our marriage have no pulse at all?
I think too, silent. To me, I think silent is, it could be a number one killer.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I thought about, how they was talking about blood pressure, and how blood pressure is a silent killer.
Mm-hmm.
You can be feeling good, and you can be feeling fine. You can be looking fine, but your blood pressure is sky high to the roof, and you don't even. Sometimes it give you a signal. In certain cases don't. But it can be up, and you don't even know it. You don't. And when you don't pay attention, and you don't check it on the regular, and you'll find yourself when you do check it, and then, like, I hear people say, I went to the what's name. They told my blood pressure. I never had blood pressure problem. Because you never checked on that. You never even considered. I think you didn't consider your health fit for real.
Mm-hmm.
And like most men really don't like to. And I didn't used to do it. I didn't used to go to the doctor and stuff, get myself checked out, because you think you're young, you think everything good, everything in its right checked out right, and I guess you feel like you the doctor, because you don't diagnose your own self.
No, we don't.
And everything is good, and you don't have no problem until you go there. When you go there, when you finally go there, and you realize, man, because they start asking you questions of, and this is another thing, they start asking you questions of the history of your parents, your grandparents. You got a history of this here, colon cancer. You got a history of high blood pressure, hypertension in your family. What's the history? And so sometimes you got to look at the history of. That's a big thing there.
Oh, you're married.
But sometimes you got to look at the history of where I come from.
Yeah.
Is because when you don't pay attention to your spouse or your husband, and like we said, I said it way back when, a lot of times you can tell in certain cases of what you're getting yourself into by your family.
That's right.
Your family history, by watching the family, watching your siblings, watching your mom, your dad, watching the people that you grew up around, that raised you. And sometimes that can tell a big thing about who you are as a person. That you can look at that before you get married and while you're in marriage. But those things you have to take consideration and start checking out and really honing in. Because when I got to the place I started checking on my health, it's like I have insurance, and at the time I wasn't checking myself out even with having the insurance. You know, people live for that now. They die for benefits to have insurance, to go to the hospital, to go to the doctor and stuff like that. But at the time, I didn't have it because I think I was just young and you know, just was good with myself.
Right.
Until things started happening. But I took notice of it, and I realized that, hey, I got some problems going on with myself. I need to go get checked out. I'll be a fool to, you know, not go and get myself checked out after knowing that I got problems or something going on with my body. I'll be a fool to not deal with it or not address it unless I want to go and get checked out of here. Because if I let it keep going unnoticed and not being, you know, checking on it, then that's what's going to happen. So same way with our marriage. When you know you got problems and you don't tend to your problem and you don't see about these problems, you don't uncover these problems or address these problems that you're having in our marriage and our relationship, these things gonna call you to want to check out. You're gonna call him to want to check out or her to check out because it don't got so far now. It's just like, you know, you hear people say they go to the doctor and get checked out. Men, they find out men had, you know, they said, well, he got stage 4 cancer. But had he been getting himself checked out, he would have saw it beforehand, and they could have probably prevented it and slowed it down or eradicated it or whatever. But because it didn't, it's at a point now, and sometimes marriage can get to the point where now they at the red tape.
They down.
I mean, they down, and it's hard to resuscitate those things. And it take people sitting up, you know, putting these things, rubbing these things, and trying to bring you back. And some marriages like that, you're trying to resuscitate them, and a lot of them saying, really much saying, let me go. I don't want to be here. I don't want to fight this no more. I just want to give up. I'm tired of dealing with this person. I'm tired of dealing with this stuff. And so they won't just leave it. But like we said last time, fight this thing. But you gotta address it, man. You gotta do it. And you said something, you alluded to something a while ago. And like I always said, stop looking out the window.
God, ain't been no
and look in the mirror. Cause you look out the window, you're looking at everybody else, you seeing what everybody else doing and got going on. But you look in the mirror, the only person you see is yourself.
Come on.
And a lot of time in marriage, we don't like to look in the mirror of marriage for ourselves and say, what have I done? What am I doing wrong? What can I do better? How can I fix what I'm doing?
Right.
Now, you can't fix this is the problem. You can't fix your husband. You can't fix your wife. You can't make them do something. You can't make them be something. Fix what you can fix about you. Fix the way you carry yourself. Fix your attitude. Fix your conversation. Fix your unforgiveness. Fix all these things that you got going on. You can fix you, but you can't fix the next person. I guarantee you, if you fix you, it will help you to be able to help them, and it'll help them out with them. Because a lot of times we spend so much time looking at them and pointing fingers at them and saying, you don't do this and you don't do that.
Right.
You don't do this and you don't do that. What am I doing? What am I saying?
Lord. Yeah.
What kind of responsibility have I taken on? What kind of accountability have I taken on? What kind of what have I been doing for myself to make my this marriage better? Have I been cooking you a hot meal?
What
have
I
I been
doing?
Have I been making sure I stay at the house and clean the house up? Or you coming home to a nasty, dirty house? A room full of clothes in there that's dirty, piled up.
What am I?
What am I doing? I want you to do something, but I'm not giving nothing in.
I'm killing it.
I'm killing it. I'm making it come down. And a lot of times we always saying what somebody else is doing. We got a big problem with that. We just always focus on what they doing and what they saying. They said this about us and they looked at us this kind of way. They put our name in the street. Don't worry about what they're doing and worry about what I can do and what I can change. Change what you can change, and that you can't, let it be. That's my thing. I want to change me for the better.
Right.
I ain't trying to change her for the better. I'm hoping and pray that she see what she needs to see, and if by chance she don't see what she needs to see, if I'm seeing what she needs to see and she don't see, I'm gonna let her know. I see this on you. This is what you need to do, and this is what you need to kind of pull back on. But in the meantime, I'm gonna work on Reginald.
Come on, Reginald.
I'm my own. I'm me. It's enough to deal with me. Didn't have to try to deal with you and change you and make you be something that I want you to be. No, work on me. Majority of the time, it comes from you not really focusing and paying attention on what you need to be doing and what you should be doing. And instead of saying what he's doing or what they're like. Because it's so easy to criticize other people. It's so easy to tear a husband down. It's so easy to tear a wife down.
Right.
Because they ain't doing something, whatever. And the thing about it is, they wouldn't, some of this stuff they wouldn't even do it before you got married.
They would not.
So I don't know why you expecting a whole lot of more stuff out of them. They weren't doing it. They ain't been doing it. But I'm just saying. So you got to know, focus more on what I need to do to better our marriage on my side of town. Work on your side of town. Work in your yard. Work on you so it can better the situation. Because I might just be the one that's causing the problem.
Killing it.
I might be the one that's killing the flowers. Why he don't bring me flower home? Because last time I brought the flower home, you cussed me out. Why you bring me flower? What you up to? What you must don't did something? You must don't whatever. No, it ain't. I'm trying to be nice to you. I'm trying to show you some affection, some love. I'm trying to show you that I appreciate you. You can't receive a flower in good measures.
In good measures.
Receive my flowers. If you don't like flowers, still receive them. Say, baby, I so thank you for the gesture that you did.
For the flower.
Thank you for the flower. If he don't know you don't like flower, you ought to just melt like you do.
Like you like the flower.
If they sit on the counter like somebody and they die, they sit on there and die. I mean, they die. But I did my due diligence about bringing her some flowers home.
And you did.
I did some due diligence about bringing her some candy home.
And he did.
So you do these things, but you don't go off the handle because, oh, I don't like flowers. Oh, I don't like candy. No, that ain't how you do it. That ain't how you address that thing. You got to be appreciative of the man. He's trying to do something. Be appreciative of the woman. She's trying to do something. You got to be appreciative of what they're trying to do and what they're doing. Help, come on. When you go on a job, you don't learn how to do that job all in one. You didn't come knowing how to do that job. You have to train on that job. And while you're being trained, whoever trained you, hope there's a good trainer because they'll tell you, man, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. You don't improve. So they helping you along. And so that's what we do in marriage. Not saying always belittling you and putting you down, saying what you ain't doing, how you ain't coming home, and how you ain't taking care of the children, how you ain't doing this.
Right.
I mean, don't beat each other up.
Don't do it.
Pull each other up, encourage each other, and motivate each other, and you'll see the better to come out of them when you continue to do that.
When you continue to do it.
Well, if you keep saying you ain't, the Bible tells us that you have what you say. And you keep telling them they ain't working that, they ain't doing that, they sorry, that's what they are. Because you shaping their world. And more you tell them that, the more they're going to receive it, and the more they're going to do to be sorry.
And Cornisha Harden said, marriage is about responsibility and accountability. We have to be, and she put we in all caps, we have to be willing to work, and she put together in all caps, and give 100% to each other all the time. And when we aren't giving that 100%, we have to take accountability and be responsible enough to make it right. Be accountable and make it right. Let's see. And you got to learn. Stephanie James said you got to learn your spouse. You got to learn your spouse.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you start asking people why. If you notice people that end up in separation or divorce or going through separation, sometimes they don't even know why. You ask them what happened. I don't know. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I got tired of it. Because we didn't see the symptoms. We weren't checking the pulse in that area. Places had died in our marriage and we weren't checking the pulse. And then another thing, if you notice, when we go to like doctors, we can't just go to any doctor. For if I need a female doctor, I ain't going to the dentist.
Right.
So if you got issues or you trying to revive your marriage, you can't keep running to single folks talking about your marriage and talking about your husband or your wife. They can't help you revive it. So I can't be having female issues and think I'm going to Dr. Etherson. No, I'm gonna have to go to Dr. Bendel or somebody that can tell me what's going on with my female organs. So I can't just go anywhere to get that done. I had to go to the right source or to the right people or to the right places. I had to jump on live feeds like this that's handing out wisdom and y'all giving out gems that may help me enhance my marriage. on what I need to do. And then another thing, after we leave that doctor, or we leave that live, or we leave that seminar, we got to put those things in place. Apostle Hicks said something the other day. It does no good if y'all going live every night and every Sunday at 8 o'clock, and the people get off the live and don't do nothing that they learn. It does no good to go to school and learn all of this stuff, and when we get out of school, we don't utilize it. It does no good for us to be in those places and we don't utilize it and put it to work. But back to the thing at hand is, you can't go around and think you're going to revive your marriage and you talking to the wrong people. You can't go and tell single people that your marriage is having problems. You talking about your husband to them, oh, he this and he that. You talk about your wife, she ain't doing this, she ain't doing that. And you talk to the wrong people. Or you going to people that marriage just as jacked up as yours. How you gonna tell me how to revive my stuff and you jacked up too? We all need to be going to somewhere where somebody can help us get revived. Help us put the pulse back to where we have a stronger heartbeat in our marriage, where we can stand together stronger. So you just can't be running around. Your marriage jacked up, they marriage jacked up. Everybody running around jacked up together, and when the issue arises, and everybody telling y'all, I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't take that, I wouldn't do it like that, girl. Oh no, boy, homeboy, I be done left that girl for me somebody else. They start giving out all kind of jacked up wisdom because they jacked up, and nobody is coming into place saying we need help. Nobody's reaching out and saying, hey, Duns. We might have had 3 or 4 people reach out, hey, Don, we need y'all. We need y'all to show up at a thing that we're having because we need some more wisdom. But most of the time, we ain't trying to tap in to what to keep our pulse, our marriage going. We just want to sit there and starve in it, or we want to find the same weak people that we know that went through it, and then we trying to talk to them, and they can't even pull us up. They can't even help us get back in line or think outside of, if I want to stay in this, I'm going to work and make it work. If I want to stay in this, I'm going to see what other meds that it going to take for my marriage. If it takes me staying at home a little bit more than what I was, I ain't going to be able to go hang out with you tomorrow because my marriage is on life support. And when your marriage become on life support, that's the last stage of what you have going on. So if your marriage on life support, you got to pull back to figure out what's happening, to figure out what you can do. Get some help. Call in some more people that can come in and speak life to the situation. But if you keep hanging around them same folks that ain't speaking no life to your situation, ain't speaking no life to your marriage, the only thing they got to say is what's negative about your spouse, that's a problem because you have talked too much to the wrong people.
Come on now.
And then when you start talking too much to the wrong people, and then they start always speaking negative, and we say this all the time, they'll never be able to revive your marriage for you. Because what people don't do is they ain't gonna forget what you told them that your spouse did. You be like, well, Reggie, he did such and such. They gonna always remember what I told them. I could have done forgave Reggie. We done moved on about our business, but I talked to the wrong person or the wrong people, and that old people still got him back in the place where I told them that we had issues at, and they still trying to find ways to kill the marriage. Where y'all done came together and came and revived it. You done went to a few counselings. You done forgave. Y'all done repented to each other. You done went on, and boom, you revived. But you still hanging around and those people hold it. People will hold your spouses in their hands and hold them tight on the negative stuff that you told them. Even though you done forgave them, they'll find a way to kill your relationship. So you got to be careful on what doctors that you go to. You got to be careful on what live feeds you even jumping on sometimes. Is it going to build? But not even the live feeds, but be careful of the people that you're going to talk. If you can't go to your spouse and talk to them about the issue, Reggie, this is the problem I'm having with you. This is what I feel like we need to work on. I know I need to work on myself, but I see some stuff that you may need to work on too. It don't need to take it to the other doctors that they didn't even get their license to practice, but you allow them to practice on your relationship and they don't even have one. What I keep on looking like running a single person or some single folks that ain't even married. What are they gonna tell me? They just gonna tell me what they think, because they can't tell me what they know because they haven't been in it and they haven't walked through it. So they can't even tell me anything about it. They can't encourage me on how to stay because at this point they getting in the bed by themselves. So they don't even know what it's like, truthfully, to walk through the marriage. So sometimes we got to be careful of what we allow to come in and gradually kill our marriage, and where we can't even find a post in our relationship because our relationship have gotten on life support. Here we are a year later, we still trying to figure out what's going on because we haven't consulted the right doctors for our relationship. We haven't talked to the right people in our relationship. We haven't did any of that. We just kept on putting it out there to anybody that'll listen. Oh, you sitting at the restaurant, you looking down and out, somebody say, hey ma'am, you all right? Oh no, me and my husband going through. You don't even know these people.
Come on.
Why is we even telling them? And then don't let it be us that spiritual. We in the church and a prophetic word come through about husband and wife. We start falling out. They don't. Is it something that you already had told them and put out on the Facebook page and the World Wide Web, and then they trying to feel like they confirming what you saying? That's a whole nother subject, but that ain't even got nothing to do with that. But we got to know when to speak, know when to allow these things to happen, know when to who to go to and who to talk to, who to glean on. But first of all, we got to talk to the person that beside us. These are the people that we vowed to be with, about to live with, vowed to stay with until we die. We vowed those things. Quenisha said that's the truth. People will not see your spouse the same again. They will only see the wrong that you told them. That is true. People will only start seeing the wrong that you told them. If I told them something wrong about Reggie, it could have been in our first few years of marriage. We probably were married 3 years and it happened. We 27 years in. And they still thinking about, yeah, she told me about that time when he didn't have no money and they were broke. Look at it. He's still broke. He just what? Baby, what are you talking about? You don't know how much money this man had. You know, people would use that and they would always figure out the negative. And then talk to you negative about your spouse. And that's the place where we ought to say, no, not him. Take up for him. Yeah. If we want our relationship to live, because negative words start to come and you'll start to receive them. You'll start receiving he's no good. But you know that he's good. He was good when you met him. And you'll start saying, oh yeah, honey, he ain't no good. You start looking at every little thing. He didn't wash my car, he ain't no good. He didn't rub my feet, he ain't no good, honey. Yeah, you right, he ain't no good. You start agreeing with it because you didn't take the time to start to build, start to make it work, start to figure out what tools it was gonna take to revive the places that you was hurt in, the places that you need to be healed in. You still trying to figure out that. But at the same time, you got people still talking negative. Girl, I want to stay with him. If he cheated on me, girl, he got the baby outside. Oh, all that stuff. They'll start girl. Oh man, I want to stay, bro. I want to stay with her. I heard she was this, or I heard she was that. I heard what do we know? Right. It's just two of us in this relationship. And what do I know about him? But if we never take the time to find out more, even though we've been married 27 years, there's more I need to learn about Reginald. Because every day we go to sleep and wake up to the new us every morning. New mercies every morning. And so here we go. I got to find out what's new, what's new, what's different, What's different about you? What more can I learn? What more can I know? What more can I do to make sure that our posts don't die? That when we check the posts of Dunn Home Improvement or Reginald and Katina Dunn, when we check the posts of that, we're still vibrant. We're still working. So we had to put something in it. We had to figure out what helps it. My mama always tell me, is you taking your meds like you should? You doing some exercise, you need to drink more water. You need to get more rest. If she see me, she'll start to say what I need more. And that's where our relationship should be with our spouses. When they see us or when they're with us or when we're just sitting talking, our spouses, if we take time so our relationship won't die, we can continue to be saying, what you got? What's going on? How are you? Are we taking the time to even ask the questions? And I think we had two questions. Do we take the time to even ask questions to say, how was your week last week? Did I make you feel loved? Have I been making you feel loved in our relationship? How are we doing that? And one thing that we need to watch is their reaction, not even what they say, but how they react to the question. Because something ain't being done or something have not been said to make this marriage work or to keep the pulse of the relationship vibrant. Oh, Rick said, "Ooh,
He don't treat. I ain't got nothing to say. That was the finale of the firework. She got a sweat rag,
got my
preacher rag. She dampened her face. But yeah, it's the truth though. It's the truth. We gotta make sure that we continue to watch each other and I mean this is my asset to my marriage. And I gotta make sure that I'm taking care of this investment with her. That's my assignment. That's what I have vowed to do. And I know this modernized up and coming young people now, they don't really know how to really hone in on that and know the essence of being with somebody and really just knowing what you got. But I know what I got, and often the time I tell her, because a lot of time we rob each other. When I don't take care of myself like I should and do the things that I should do, I rob her of a good life. Because if I get down off and sick, due to me not doing what I need to do, just because I'm just acting, out of impulse or whatever, not, following up, doing things that I'm supposed to be doing, I'm robbing her out of our marriage. And I tell her the same way. When you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're robbing. When you're not taking care of your body, you're not doing your exercise, you're not eating right, you're not doing these things. It hurt. It's putting a damp on me because I got to take care of you. I got to make sure that you get down sick, and and different things like that. I got to be the one to nurse you to health. I got to be there to assist you. And so you want to make sure that we are, and that's why we have to make sure that we are checking our pulse and we are paying attention to each other and making sure that we keeping each other in check. Because I mean, this is who we are. This is who we got. This is who we are. And so it's very important. And I hurt for those that the ones that have got so comfortable in their marriage to where they don't pay attention. They feel like some wives feel like they are overworked, they are overburdened because of so much, and because the husband really not paying attention to them and paying attention to the need and seeing. One thing about it, we're getting older. If I can train myself and to do things and make sure that I'm assisting her, in going in our old age to help us to do what we got to do. I want to do that. I want to do that because I want to live a long life. I want to live a good, long, healthy life. I want her to be healthy and live a long, good life as well. So, but I like I said, she got to do what she got to do. I got to do what I got to do as well. But we are here to complement each other on the whole aspect, on the whole thing, and not just trying to make sure you looking good when you go out, you know, before the people and stuff like that.
Right.
That ain't what it's good. Don't get me wrong.
You almost said something then to preach.
That ain't what for Hill of Beans. But we put on this outward show out here in the world. We'll go out into the world in the marketplace, but then we can't put this show on in the house. I mean that's not right. You living a double life. It's a double standard. You know, you got one standard out there, and you got another standard at the house. Do what you do at the house. Take care of your house. Take care of your wife. Take care of your children if you got kids and stuff. Be that family guy. Be that family wife, woman. Be that. So when you go out in the world, it ain't a show. It ain't something that people say, girl, like you were saying earlier, you tell people about what's going on in your marriage. Then you get out there and say, oh, girl, they're just a show.
They're just a show.
They ain't like that for real.
They ain't like that for real.
It ain't all that. Don't let them fool you because she don't told me how he is. He don't told me how she is. You know, and so
that's what they say.
You want to make sure that you live in a lifestyle, man, that you don't have to go back against what you say and what you don't done and how y'all live. So live the life, man, to the best, man. God honor marriage so.
Honors it so
that he blessed us, man, to have these people on our side, and you know we just have to work it out and pray and continue to allow God to help us and get the help you need when you need help. Get the help, but stop going to people.
Quit on default.
Stop going to these shade tree marriage counselors, all these folks that don't know nothing about marriage and they ain't really their marriage ain't prospering, their marriage falling down and they on one crutch now, you know what? Stop going to these folks. So just man, be encouraged. Continue to stand and fight for your marriage. Fight for your relationship. Fight for everything that you have put in. Continue to motivate yourself and encourage yourself. You know, and like I said, we're getting older and things don't shake like they used to shake. you know, things don't move like they used to move.
And one thing they gotta y'all young people that 19 and 20 that get married and 25, 27, 30. But you just know as the year go on, some of these parts don't move like they used to. Y'all might were twerking on each other when y'all was 19 and 20. When you get 45, 50, 60 years old, out of the twerk have gone. So you got to make sure that you find other ways to keep the balls in your marriage. Twerk might get old. And them knees start doing some man. So you got to make sure that you keep the love and the vibrancy in your marriage. Keep the
don't let it just be found on twerking. You better love on each other.
Don't let your marriage just be founded on what they looked like. Because if it found just on look, that stuff start to gravity start to set in, honey. Stuff start to hanging low, and everybody can't get no BBL or whatever they getting. Everybody can't get tummy tucks and get their boobs lifted. So don't let your relationship be founded on the looks because, honey, some of y'all done BBL killing y'all, honey, and the thighs don't match. That's a whole different thing. But anyway, we got to make sure what our relationship is founded on, and we got to continue. Yes, he do quit it. Them bodies stop bodying, honey. They don't be the same thing. We 27 years ago, it was a little different. Now we done crossed over to halfway 100, so we can't do that kind of stuff no more. But
and then you gotta know it's all right though.
It's all right.
And you gotta be ready to
be comfortable in your marriage with it. If I can't twerk no more, they figure out something else.
Get your birthday suit on, somebody.
I'm trying to say, woo!
You gotta make some work on it, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You can't be somebody else can twerk it for you. That ain't what God designed for somebody else to twerk it for you. You just work with what you got.
Never ain't say go to the store, become a new adventure each time. As you get older, honey. Woo!
Like some brother was saying, this day and time now, you got to make reservations.
Yes, you do.
You stores. You don't just go to the pop-up and go to the store because you think you want to. You got to make.
I'm trying to tell y'all. Anyway, y'all, that off the subject, but it's a good closing remark. Woo! I don't even know how we went there real quick. We just went there, that just was sideways. But it is, you still, even with that, you still got to figure out how to continue to make your marriage work. If you can't, if your wife bodies and your husband bodies don't look the same when you first met them, don't be talking about, I'm going to leave them because they can't put out no more. You better find another way to put it in. Or put it out, put it over, flip it, or whatever you got to do. To keep your marriage alive, honey. Don't be talking about, I'm leaving because she can't do like I want her to do anymore. You got to figure out what it takes to keep your relationships alive, to keep them vibrant, to keep it going. Deborah Hayes said, you can't be making no convenience store runs, that's for sure. The body requires you to make appointments. Yes, it do. Y'all, I don't know where they know. Why did this go left so fast? I guess because that's a place where you gotta make sure that you keep your marriage alive. Because of course, with us as women, we'll start going through menopause, different things like that, where you gotta figure out, okay, how am I gonna keep my marriage alive in that area? Check the pulse of it. Y'all, that's our show tonight. I'm glad some of y'all was able to jump on. I believe the time change got some of the rest of them. They probably done gone to bed because I was just all thrown off. But thank y'all for jumping in. We'll be back next week. I'm hoping to get some people on next week. Everybody been having a busy time, and now it's coming up on the holidays. Of course, we'll be doing our 5 days of gratitude coming up in the next few days, as well as we're trying to throw something in before the new year for our couples. If it's only a couple's game night, a couple's sit, chat, and chew. Quinicia even had recommended that we do another taco night, and that was a blast. We was able to talk about marriage and talk about different things in relationship. So if y'all see the flyer go up, jump in on Eventbrite, make your reservation to be with us before the end of the year, because I think it's going to be a good thing to have. We want to shout out Impact Media tonight. She's back with us. Thank you, Tatiana Darden, for taking out the time to come on to make sure that we don't have to lean up and match the thing to figure out if we're doing it right. Our camera be all off. So Impact Media, if y'all looking for a DJ, looking for outside movie theater time, if you're looking for a 360 booth, photography, anything like that, reach out to Impact Media, Tatiana Darden, and she will make sure that you are well put together. So shout out to Tatiana Darden for Impact Media for making sure that we are good on Sunday night. So do us a favor, jump back on next Sunday at 8 o'clock. We'll be here. We was able to reach out to all our breast cancer survivors last week that won. We popped up with them, gave them their gifts. Also, we blessed some pastors. They may not have received their gifts in the mail yet, but they coming, y'all. So we was able to bless some pastors for Clergy Appreciation Month. And then for the month of November, we'll do our 5 days of giveaways. So we're gonna be looking for some nominations for people that we can be a blessing to. And in this season of the time, and then Christmas, we'll do Christmas as well. So we just want to say thank y'all so much for jumping on. Thank you, Cornelia Hardin, Monte Ray, Courtney Darn Brewer, Criteria, all of y'all that always coming on, making sure that you tag, like, share, and tag people to get them in. We'll definitely, hopefully y'all will be seeing our face a little bit more. We just been had so much going on. We'll trying to pop in through the week just to give a nugget and log back off. But thank y'all for tuning in. We'll we'll chat with y'all next Sunday at 8 o'clock. Hopefully by then everybody will be adjusted to this time change and be ready to jump onto the live. And I pray that we get a chance to get some couples on. If you all would like to be a part of the broadcast, let us know. You don't have to leave your home. You can do it from the comfort of your home. And all you going to do is come on the broadcast and we're going to talk about marriage together and let people hear your side of what you think. If you want to be a part of the broadcast, definitely inbox us. We'll get you in. We'll send you the links on how you get in. And hey, it'll be a full party backstage after we're done. So we thank y'all so much. Hey Tina, thank you for tuning in. Tina said that this was good. Thank you for tuning in. Thank y'all for sharing. Uh, Tina became part of the team. Thank you, Tina. Thank y'all for sharing and getting the word out. Hey y'all, we're gonna get off of here so I can laugh at them BBLs that's been killing y'all and the thighs don't match. So I can show Rachel what what I was talking about. So yes, so we'll talk to y'all next Sunday, 8 o'clock. See y'all later. Y'all have a good night. Love y'all. Bye.